Greetings, comrades. My name is Gigantules, and this will be the last video that I produce this year in 2024. As you can see, I don't have my typical setup, and that's because there's a lot of room for error with that, and I don't have the quietness um, or the lighting right for that. I think I explained this before, how complicated it is to set up a green screen and all the lighting and everything. And if I get that wrong, then I have to keep doing it. But I don't have much time to do it since my family's home. So I'm just going to try and record it like this, and hopefully it turns out well. So firstly, I thank you all for your support over this year. I produced a lot of good content. Um, Continue to add to my church councils in a nutshell videos, series technically. I think I'm on Lateran 3 now, maybe Lateran 4. I've got a bunch of them lined up. I've continued to work on my references to the Deuterochronicles in the New Testament. Uh, yeah, the last one I think was to the Book of Tobit, and I've got all the other ones ready. So references to Judith, I think, Baruch, or Baruch, and then also the additions to Daniel and Escher. I mentioned that series in specific because I'm currently working on the sequel series to that in terms of the research, where I found a brilliant site that cross-references all of the works of the Church Fathers to reference to specific passages from Scripture. And on that site, I've been compiling references to all of the Deuterochronicles from the Church Fathers. And let me put it this way: there's at least 430 references to the Deuterochronicles in the New Testament. Okay, at least 430. When it comes to how many references there are to the Book of Wisdom in the Church Fathers, there's about 430 as well. So that should give you an idea of just how many times the Deuterochronicles are referenced by the Church Fathers. And I'm not necessarily doing this because, depending on how many times they're referenced, that shows that they're canonical. But I want to provide references to the Deuterochronicles by the Church Fathers to show, one, that they had a prominent place in when it came to theology and interpretations of Scripture in the early Church, and two, many of the Church Fathers openly call these books Scripture. And so when the Protestants come forward and say that they weren't considered Scripture and they were added at the Council of Trent, it's ultimately a load of rubbish. Uh, Maybe, I mean, I know right now my longest video is the references to the Shroud of Turin throughout the history, and that video is like 101 minutes long. But if I put all my references to the Deuterochronicles in the New Testament into a single video, that will probably be longer. And for probably my when I finally finish this all my research for the series for references to the Deuterochronicles in the Church Fathers, if I compile that into a single video, then that may be over 24 hours at this point. I mean, I finished finished almost all of the books right now. I'm currently working on references to Baruch in the Church Fathers, and then after that will come additions to Escher and Daniel. So I'm getting there. It's slow though, mostly because it's really boring to just basically sit there and then try to reference all these books and the quotes and everything. And like I said, it's boring, and I've taken some long breaks sometimes to try and get out of that phase of boredom. But I'm almost there now, so that's good. I'm trying to work on the second part of the Pharisee conspiracy regarding the shortening of the begetting ages of the antediluvian patriarchs, as opposed to the first video, which covered the shortening of the begetting ages of the post-diluvian patriarchs. Sorry, I keep switching my hand. It's been a while since I've done a video like this, or properly. I know I mentioned, in regards to what's happening in my personal life, I made that video back at the beginning of November or so, or mid-November, whatever, where I basically said that unfortunately my grandmother had passed, and then that caused a bit of a hiatus where for a month on both Facebook and YouTube I didn't do anything. And then a little while before that, I was on another hiatus as I was waiting for a new laptop so that I could try to produce content that didn't crash my computer whilst I was doing work and stuff. So I do apologize for a bit of my erratic releases and uploads and things in the latter half of this year. Um, that shouldn't be happening again if all things go well. And I actually had to deal with another issue uh, relating to my settings and stuff, because when I initially downloaded Movie Studio Platinum 17, um, that came as part of a package deal where I had some specific graphics software. The problem that I didn't realize was I could upload Movie Studio Platinum onto two different laptops and work on projects on independently of each other. But the software would only function on one laptop. So I had to go onto my old laptop earlier this week, disable that graphics software in on my old laptop, and then activate it on my new laptop. So then I would be able to continue adding the special effects and the backgrounds and stuff for my new projects on my new laptop. It's always a bit of a hassle with the stuff relating to technology, and my father will tell you that I'm notorious when it comes to technology, with all the problems and stuff I end up having, and all the long-winded, going off on multiple tangents routes as I try to sort it out. The things I do trying to run my ministries, just maybe if I'm ever canonized, maybe I can also become a saint relating to computers. Even though I know very little about computers, just the sheer dedication of everything I do when it comes to overcoming all these obstacles, so I can keep producing videos, making Facebook posts and stuff like that. Uh, Next year, I do have a couple of releases, not not necessarily attached to a series, but I do have a couple of releases I can do. I intend to go back over some of my older videos and try and redo them, like my one about why the Pope as Joanne never existed. Um, I want to do stuff also like about the Inquisition. Um, Also, the videos where I'm talking to the webcam. Sorry, tilting the screen. Where I'm talking into the webcam, and then I'm reviewing another video, like with the Return to Traditions video, stuff like that. I like that. I like that doing that sort of content, so I may do more of it. In that case, let me know if there's any videos you want me to look at and review. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it from all I can think of right now. So, thank you all for your support this year. Uh, Hopefully, my releases for next year won't be this irregular, or nothing bad will happen that will result in me having to keep taking breaks. And I've got a lot of stuff planned for next year. Um, Hopefully, my channel can continue to grow as it has done so over this past year. I recently got my 2024 statistics, and we've done a good amount of work. Even though, and I think I only covered this on Facebook. I didn't mention it on YouTube yet. For some reason, YouTube has been doing a lot of auditing of my channel over these past couple of months, and it's really irritating because if you look at my channel on Social Blade, you'll see that I used to get a huge amount of views, and that's it's not tanked, but it's really come down as a result of all this auditing. And I think I was looking at the statistics for my third Council of the Lateran in a nutshell video, where that video has only got 42 views. But in terms of the money I get from ad revenue, camera shaking. In terms of the amount of money I get from the ad revenue, I've made almost £10 from that. And that's quite something, because it takes about 250 views to make £1 of ad revenue, according to Social Blade. So the fact I'm making £10 from 42 views is quite significant when it comes to just how much some of my content is being audited. And I know that the auditing is meant to remove spam views and like half-watched views and stuff like that, but it's a bit irritating that what used to be this continuous incline, is it an incline? This continuous incline of growth has not leveled out, but it's become very erratic and irregular and stuff like that now. But maybe next year this will all be sorted out, and my channel will continue to grow at a proper rate, if not an exponential rate, which would be ideal. Because I do like making videos and Facebook posts, and technically Instagram as well, but I don't have many followers on that yet. I do like making this sort of stuff, but it's always a bit of a mood. It's always a bit of a mood breaker when after all this work, I then see an audit busy cutting away huge amounts of my views, and I'm wondering just why YouTube? Why do you have to already make the YouTube more hostile for me? Keeping in mind that the algorithm already favors big companies and everything. Yeah, so I'm just probably going to go off on a tangent now if I don't end this video soon. So thank you all for your support this year. My videos should be more regular and scheduled over this next year, and I continue to look forward to your support throughout 2025. So hopefully you all have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. God bless you all. See you in the next video, comrades. Until then.